this guy, and you all know who this guy is. This is a guy that just can't help but to continue to stick his nose, to give his unwanted opinion when nobody asks for it. Now, I know eventually somebody gonna come on here defending him. I know either some tether or some Sambo gonna come on here trying to defend this dude. But of course, DJ Vlad, tries to attack basically, the FBA community by saying, oh, they're a hate group, they're this and that. And you notice they do this all the time. Anytime where they see a group of black people try and unify and try to join forces to fight against, racism, white supremacy, and then at the end of the day, fairness among our community, you get people that try to attack it, that try to mislabel it, or, redirect it or change the narrative. Here it is, you got some dude in Arkansas leading the group that's building, quote unquote, what he wants a all-white area. And really, nobody's giving him any problems, really. It's like, okay, fine. Because at the end of the day, I've been saying this is what we should have been doing. Like I keep saying, integration was the biggest hustle and the biggest fraud ever inflicted and really designed to destroy black people and compromise, undermine, monkey wrench. You know what I'm saying? Anything that would lead to black people having independence and self-reliant and being self-efficient. That's the problem. But this dude, Vlad, sat up there talking about FBA are a racist group, they're a hate group. Listen, let me explain something to you. As urban politicians say, they got people that, are not playing with a full deck in every group. They got people not playing with a full deck in every group. And their intentions may be good, but at the same time, once again, they don't represent everybody. But then I'm gonna say this again, as black men, we gotta stop having to explain ourselves to everybody. The thing is with black people, everybody think anything that we create or come up with, they feel like they have access to it. Now they're trying to call cultural, cultural appropriation to cultural appreciation. So now they're not saying, it's not like we're trying to appropriate what you're doing, is we appreciate it. So that's why we want to emulate it. But then at the same time, you try to profit off of it. That's the problem. And you won't share none of those profits with the people that you're emulating. So that's the problem people like me have. This dude, Vlad, cannot stay out of black people's business. But then again, the people that I blame are the people that continue to go on his platform. That is the problem. That man is a extreme culture vulture. And I will say this again. It is so funny. We ask those same celebrities would they come on our platform. We ask those people would they come on our platform, do interviews with us. Either they don't respond to us, or they ask for an extreme amount of money, or they just ignore you. They just ignore you flat out. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you this much. I've been able to get big time celebrities on my platform. For the most part, I ain't had to pay. Now what they'll do is they'll say, hey, I got something coming up. I got a charity event. Hey, would you mind making a donation? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm just keeping it a buck. And then the funny thing is, some of these dudes that go on these non-black platforms, they won't even charge them, but then they want X amount of money from, you know what I'm saying, the black platforms. So that's the reason why sometimes I'll just be like, okay, but hey, it is what it is. I have to accept that. But with this dude has made millions of dollars exploiting and stereotyping the black community. This dude does interviews where he does nothing but talk about the streets primarily and alleged ties to the street or alleged crime. He actually have them come on his platform and talk about illegal activity. And then when people call him out on that stuff, then he tries to play stupid. Like, what are you talking about? You have an obsession with that shit. And I'm gonna say this again. Nobody cares about you having a black wife. That doesn't give you an excuse to do what you do or open your mouth. But as I said before, anything pertaining to the black community is always an open discussion. You got people that are not even, that feel like they can give their opinion on situations that's going on in the black community. But I blame black people for this, for going on these big platforms and having certain conversations with certain people who don't have no ties to the black community whatsoever, who don't even like black people. And this is why a lot of times these other groups are allowed to get away with exercising racism towards black people. And then of course when we call them out, then all of a sudden they want to play stupid. They want to say, hey man, it isn't about that, and all this type of stuff. One thing they've been doing for the last 15 years, or should I say the internet era, they've been trying to put this label on black people, hollering this reverse racism shit, which I'm gonna say this again, there's no such thing as reverse racism. If you don't control the masses, and if you're not in control of the situation, if you're not in control of the resources, the situation, and how things are distributed, you can't be racist. And that's real talk. You can't claim racism with black people. If you want to say prejudice or possibly bigotry, then that's fine. But to claim racism, and that's the funny thing, that's another thing they've been dismissing. They want to be able to disrespect black people and openly display racism and white supremacy. But then what they want to do is try to deflect. This dude has been getting away with this for years. For years. Now, I've been on here for a while. He was already on here. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out what this dude is doing or what he tries to do. He loves to try to instigate. Look at what he's doing now. Look how he's instigating the beef between, Faison Love and, and Avery Spears. But, Avery Spears is a house nigga anyway. Avery Spears love coming on these non-black platforms because most of the black platforms don't want him because he wore out his welcome. Avery Spears talks all this stuff, but once again, like the coward that he is, for what happened in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, 2016, 2017 on the Corey Holcomb show. Still to this day haven't apologized to Zoe. Still tries to hide behind that mask that he's a comedian. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you tell jokes for a living or not. If I'm not part of that group, if I'm not in that line of work, if I tell you, hey, don't joke about me, that's my right. It doesn't have nothing to do with with being sensitive or emotional. At the end of the day, some people get emotion mixed up with respect. And the problem is these dudes try to shame you for saying, hey man, don't disrespect me. Like I say, what is the definition of a joke? And there is a cutoff period for everything. There is a cutoff for anything. If I say, hey man, you get too personal, hey, you need to leave that alone, bro. You're doing too much. Please, stop disrespecting me. But then they'll have the audacity to imply, hey, dude, hey, man, see, that's the problem. Y'all being too emotional. Nah, we're not being emotional. We just say, hey, man, stop disrespecting me. But for years, he's been doing this. He's got away with it, and he's made a shitload of money doing this stuff. He's made tens of millions of dollars doing this stuff, exploiting black people, exploiting black culture, but people continue to bring their asses on his platform. And that's the problem that I have with that dude. This is the problem that I have with black people. Stop going on this dude's platform. Lord Jamar was talking all this stuff about boycott him and all this kind of stuff. Now Godfrey still hasn't went back, and at this point, the way he respected Godfrey, calling him a punk, and we all know he not gonna say that. He not gonna say that to Godfrey's face, because he loves to brag about how he walks around with security. And it's funny, these dudes like him, they always hire niggas to be their security. These people talk bad about black people, have an issue with black people, but then they want black people to protect them. Sometimes it comes across to me is when they have, primarily black security, it ain't because they give them a job. It's kind of like they're sacrificing them. Addition by subtraction. But for him to stick his nose in FBA business, that's a problem. Why can't this dude stay the fuck out of black people's business? But this is what they do. Anytime you see a group of black people getting together and trying to put together an organization that can help black people, then they get labeled a hate group. They always get labeled a hate group. It's okay for Hispanics to build up their areas and have sectors where it primarily caters to them, where they have their own community. Asians have their own community. Pakistanis have their own community. But then when black people ask for their own community or want to attempt to build their own community, then here they come with this is racist. Not only do you get that kind of pushback from non-blacks or white people, you get that pushback from black people. And this is one of the reasons why I don't vote. This is one of the reasons why I call politicians frauds, because they are frauds. This is why the Democratic Party has failed so, this is why they have failed so far down the totem pole to where they're almost unrecognizable. But they constantly keep telling us to vote Democrat, but they do nothing like it whatsoever, except make the same empty promises, or they tell us that we're all one group. Black people have different needs from other ethnic groups. And when you stop trying to group us all together, the better off you'll be. But everybody else has been a priority with Democrats, except black people. But then we are the ones, for the most part, that decide whether they get elected presidents and whatever, senators and all that kind of stuff. But then there is no sense of urgency to do any fucking thing for us. Ever. There's never a sense of urgency. And then when we ask for tangibles and we ask for resources, all of a sudden they say they got to do research. You got to do research to see how we can get resources. And then that's another thing that I don't like about this dude. He constantly talks about, oh, reparations would bankrupt the country. How? Based off what? What research have you done to prove your statements, your unfounded statements? Sorry, y'all, I'm watching out for traffic at the same time. What research and proof that you have can back up your claims? Oh, I know, because you're white and you say so. And also, he's part of that other group. Now, keep in mind, for years, this dude disrespected Farrakhan. But what he was trying to do was get him on the show. Funny thing is, you say anything about his group, and you know what group he part of, then all of a sudden, you're called anti and all this kind of stuff. But yet he always think he can give his opinion on black situations. But I blame you Negroes for this. You guys built his platform. You guys built his platform, constantly going on his platform, having open discussions about our community and situations in our community, which all of the time wasn't necessarily true. But then you gave him the so-called Negro pass. You the one that got him comfortable thinking he could say the things that he says. So there is nobody to blame a lot of times for him and the way he conducts himself and the shit that he says, but black people. This is your fault. Like I say, black people don't have no problem building up somebody else. But when you get guys like me that's saying, hey man, let's work together, let's build together. You help me, I'll help you. Let's do things ourselves. Let's keep things between ourselves. Let's keep stuff between our communities. But for him to sit up there and say FBA are racist because a black lady says she's tired of the disrespect that's shown towards her by these African immigrants. Now I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be completely fair. Most of the experience that I've had with Africans have been pretty good. But at the end of the day, they can be converted to coonism the same way American black can be converted to coonism or just be a coon. And I'm going to tell you something else. A lot of people don't respect coons. I mean, Nick Fuentes pretty much said he don't respect people like Candace Owens and Jason Whitlock, the Haas twins. What's the other dude's name? Officer Coonum. I've been saying this for years that people don't respect coons. They think they do, but they don't. Because they feel like, let me tell you how people really feel about coons and Sambos. Oh, do me a favor. Anybody that come on here talk crazy, if you got a wrench, block them. Don't put them on a timeout, block them. Straight up. And that's real. This is the stuff that they do. I'm gonna say this again. Every experience that I've had with Africans have been pretty cool. But like I said, there's always the ones that stand out that been taught and been brainwashed to believe that We are a bunch of lazy people that don't want to do nothing. All we do is sit up, complain. But then the funny thing is, if you look at what's going on social media, all you do is see other groups complain. I told you I don't ride waves. I don't do what's popular. Just like I'm not participating in that whole black fatigue stuff because I think that's stupid. At the end of the day, all black people do is when they sit up riding these waves and getting on these trains about white people and other non-blacks are tired of black people. Who gives a fuck? Because at the end of the day, we've been tired of y'all. We've been tired of y'all for the last 400 years. If you tired of us, then at the end of the day, we're exhausted. We're past tired. We almost to the point to where we losing breath. Because we can't breathe from y'all smothering us with your racism. But then again, that's what you do intentionally. So that's all I'm saying. But dude been getting away, but getting back to Vlad. That's what this dude does. This is what he's been doing. Exploiting the black community for profit and playing the black community up against each other. That's the thing. We the only ones, we the only community, we the only group of people that ain't allowed to voice our opinion. And then at the same time, we the only community where they try to say the women of our ethnic group are our leaders, which that is complete bullshit. They're not. They're not even close. My thing is with Vlad, I'm pretty deep in this video, so I'll say his name now because I'm gonna tell you something else. He known for like trying to, he known for trying to snitch videos down. But I'm gonna use this under fair use. I'm gonna say this again, fair use. Because he known for that. He known for that too. But he don't have no problem trying to profit off of everybody else. But he been getting away with this for years. Years he's been getting away with this, giving his unwanted opinion. But like I said, if you say something about his group, then here he come. He ain't made one video talking about that dude that's talking about building a all-white community in Arkansas. I think it's in Arkansas. I mean, I ain't really dug that deep in it because I don't care. But one thing that black people should have been trying to do was self-reliance. Build our own communities. But then again, y'all already know what happened when we tried to do that. They went and destroyed all our communities. But then when you bring this up to them, when they sit up here talking about we need to stop asking for handouts, well, you know what? When we didn't get our handouts and we tried to build our own communities, they destroyed them. Literally destroyed them. Sabotaged them. But then they think we supposed to move on from that. They love to tell us to move on from something. They love to tell us to get over something. But like I said, if you say something about his group, and you know what group he tied to, you know what group he's aligned with, then here they come. The thing is, what tripped me out, black people embrace and spend money with every group you can think of. Black people have made every other group millionaires or billionaires. And if you try to say otherwise, you're lying. Because according to the reports, black people are the biggest consumers. Well, my problem is, if that's the case, then why are there far less black billionaires or even multi-billionaires than our counterparts? How is that? How is that happening? How did that happen? They say we are the biggest consumers in the world, or at least in the United States. But then it's alarming how there is such a lack of billionaires, black billionaires. So you have to ask yourself, how is this happening? Why is this happening? This is by design. I'm gonna say this again. This is by design. So when I hear people say you guys need to stop complaining about the white man is holding you back, the white man is holding us back. The white man been holding us back. That's proof. That's fact. That's fact. That's undisputable. You can't even deny it. But what you have now, you got people that'll just wake up in the morning and come with these false, baseless talking points to try to dismiss the fact that black people have been the main beneficiaries of racism and hate and collusion. Like I said, they'll take our money. They'll take our money. They don't mind taking our money. They just don't want us to have the same amount of money as them. Tell me that I'm lying. I could come up with some statistics myself. It's just amazing that the arrogance that they have towards us. They really feel they could just tell us something and we supposed to abide by, and we supposed to be like, yep. Oh, I agree. You know what? You're right. They love telling us what we come up with, we should share with everybody. Like I said, once again, we the only ones that's not allowed to protect our history. We're the only ones that's not allowed to gatekeep and say what's ours. And then a lot of times they recruit these tellers, these bed wenches, and these sambos to help them exercise and protect their talking points. At the end of the day, when do you black people get tired of being a jester? When do you get tired of being used? When do you get tired of being a display nigga? Do you ever get tired of being a display nigga? Doesn't that ever grow old with you? But then again, we've been brainwashed to think that we can't make it without them. So I'm just saying, all this ties into people like Vlad, who really think they got a right to open up their mouth and speak on stuff they have no business speaking on. Why can't people stay out of black people's business? I don't be getting in Mexican people's business. I don't get in Filipino people's business. I don't get in Asian people's business. I don't get in Indian people's business. But everybody got something to say about our business. Because we sit up here inviting outsiders and trying to explain to them where we're coming from. They don't care. They made it clear they don't care. So why are we sitting up having these conversations? Why are we inviting these people? Even these non-blacks who don't have our best interest, who for the most part are against us. Answer that question. Riddle me that, Batman. So I'm just saying about that dude. People should have been checking him. Anytime there is a sign of black people coming together as a whole, they always send basically a plant. They will send a internet form of Bill O'Neill to try to infiltrate us. Once again, William O'Neill is one of the biggest traitors in history. Real talk. They got a lot of them on here. So this thing with Vlad, people gotta stop like going on this platform. At the end of the day, the dude ain't nothing more than a European white tether. And the funny thing is, you come out and defend him. He's been like he's basically been a guy that have kept these stereotypes going and these images going about black people, because it likes to interview the wrong type of black people. And that's fact. That's factamundo. The best thing that you can do is stop going on this dude's platform. Stop talking to this dude. Stop letting this dude profit off of the backs of the black community. The same people that he tries to diss, they are his bread and butter. We are his bread and butter. Without us, he has nothing. It's easy to shut this dude down. And once again, it took him years to apologize to Minister Farrakhan. You know, last time I seen Minister Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan, like I think he 90 something. Now he being carried around in a wheelchair and stuff. So maybe his health may be deteriorating. So I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, you got to put your foot down. Now, like I said, I got quite a few people that I've been asking and telling them to stop talking to this dude. It's time to boycott. It's time to boycott him. It's time to shut this dude down. It's time to tell him to stay the fuck out of black people's business. This don't concern you. If that lady had an issue with how Africans was treating them after she spends money with them and disrespect her, and she's saying, hey, boycott them, she have every right. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Everybody think like that Asian man don't menace to society. People don't have no problem taking black people's money, but when it comes to respecting black people, then all of a sudden they get lost in translation. When you say, hey, respect black people, huh? What? Excuse me? What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, it ain't no reason to pull up on Vlad. The best way to hurt a dude like Vlad is through his pockets. If you are subscribed to his channel, unsubscribe. Don't watch his videos. That's how you do. Take money out his pocket. Just like he was hating on Shannon Sharp because of the Cat Williams interview. That's what he do. That's his nature. Where, like I said, he exploits black people. He profits off of black people. And I don't even think he really, to a certain degree, like black people. All you got to do is look at his subject matter. That's all he talked to is people who have somewhat of a past. That's all this guy does. So he has no business giving his opinion on FBA whatsoever. Had nothing to do, like, once again, they have nothing to do with his white ass. But like I said, anytime you see black people as a group, if we create an organization that specializes in looking out and taking care of black people, they get instantly labeled a hate group, where basically, like I said, black people are not allowed to just help black people. We have to help everybody. You don't see but then at the same time, you don't see Asian people going out of their way to help black people. You don't see other groups of non-blacks going out of their way to help black people. But black people have to be this open community to everybody. And black people have to sit up here and extend their hand to this fake minority superpowers that don't exist. Never have, will exist. Never has, never will exist. Now, if people can use black people, yeah, of course. Because black people have this thing. And they say all this shit about black people. They say we're evil. They say we're nothing but trouble. But for some reason, black people have this kindness where they feel like they have to help everybody. Or they believe in this majority unisons that don't exist. But he been doing this for years. He can't back up none of his claims. He can't back up none of his claims about reparations would bankrupt the country. Like how? The funny thing is, America, if they don't fly right, because I'm starting to see more videos where black people are picking up and leaving the country and going elsewhere. I'll say this much: if every black person just found somewhere else to go but the United States, America would turn into a third world country within 5 years. Oh, appreciate the donation, brother. Appreciate that. Nah, somebody got to say this. Shout out to my brother Too Raw, man. Me and him always be having these conversations. Y'all go subscribe to my brother too. We always have, because me and him be on one accord. But I've been saying this about DJ Vlad. I keep saying this about black people. We do not have to explain ourselves to people. We don't have to explain our actions to people. Like I tell people that ain't black, I don't have to explain shit to you. And I'm not, because I don't owe you no explanation. Who the fuck is you to tell me what to talk about and why I got to prove something to you? I don't have to prove nothing to you. Yeah, Vlad been getting away with this far too long. And I'm gonna say this, I love Bill, and I told Bill to his face. Well, not to his face, but I told him over the phone. Like, man, why you going on Vlad's platform, man? And I'm not trying to clout chase Bill. Bill is my brother, but then I'm just keeping it 100. I'm gonna say this again. Now we have to ask, here's the thing. I'm gonna say these names, and I'll support these dudes. Now we gonna have to ask, well, Tariq Nasheed, like, bro, you just recently went on Vlad's channel, about 4 or 5 months ago, and then he turns around and says that FBA is a hate group. See, I'm gonna tell you something else. What Vlad tries to do, he's listen. We all know that Vlad can't debate worth shit, but he wins if he can get you to come on his platform. So it's a win-win situation for him. Oh, I don't care if I lose in debates, because guess what? I got you on my platform, and I'm gonna make money off of it. See, the best way to get a dude like him, once again, is through his pockets. That's how you get a dude like Vlad. Oh, and another thing, Vlad ain't from Oakland either. So I don't know why he keep I don't know why he keep trying to act like he from the Bay Area. He's not from Oakland. I think he went to college. I think he went to UC Berkeley. And for people that's from the town, UC Berkeley is in Berkeley. It's just, it's the next town over going north. Going northeast. But he's not from Oakland. So when he be sitting up there perpetrating like he's not from Oakland. Yeah, people from Oakland know he not from here. Dude's not from here. He's not from Oakland. Dude not from here. So I'm just saying. Well, that's what I was saying. And listen, I mess with Tariq Nasheed, but then, I gotta ask him. I'ma just go on this platform. I'm gonna say, man, you gotta respond to Vlad, bro. Cause I'm people gonna be looking at you funny. And that's what that dude does. I wouldn't go on the show trying to argue with him or debate with him. Listen, we already know that Vlad isn't a good debater. He can't back up none of his facts. But if you go on his platform, you do a 2 or 3 hour interview that he breaks down into segments, he's won because he's made money off of you. He like, yeah, I'm going to say something. Yeah, I'm going to say something. Yeah. So then when you get at him, say, hey, Vlad, I don't appreciate you saying that about this, saying this about that. Oh, why don't you come on the platform and we'll discuss it? Oh, and I'll give you $10,000. Or I'll give you between $5,000 and $10,000. And then instead of people seeing what he's doing, okay, cool. Yeah, he'll give you $10,000, but he's probably going to make 20 off the interview. Because one, he's going to make 20 off the interview. He's going to make a total of 20 off the entire interview because one, he's going to put up the entire interview and then he's going to break down and edit the other part of the interviews into segments. So that's his hustle. That's his hustle. That's how he gets over. So he get people brought up. Yeah, man, when I see this, when I see Vlad, I can't wait to get on this platform and check him. Once you get in his studio and the cameras start rolling and the cameras shut down, he's already won. Because he got you. Now, I'm going to tell you something and y'all going to laugh. I was thinking about doing a video about this. And I'm not clout chasing, but I'm going to send the proof. I'm going to send the proof to people that I'm cool with. Now, I went to Ryan Clark's Instagram and I wanted to point out that Ryan Clark, I saw what he was saying in regards to the Sha'Carri Richardson situation. And a lot of people came across if he was trying to give her a pass, even though he said he wasn't giving her a pass. But due to the fact he was trying to say, well, men have been horrible and they've done. No, not all men. And then another thing that lost me is when he said that black women been protecting black people's heritage and protected black people's image. And I was like, who? Where did that come from? And I didn't say nothing disrespectful. All I did was I just said, hey, man, it came across as like you was pandering to her. And he said something back and, we ended basically with with it. He said what he had to say. I said what I had to say. I got the proof. He responded to me. And once again, I'm not trying to clout chase because people love accusing people of clout chase. I don't need anybody's clout. But this is what I was trying to tell y'all, that you'll be surprised who watches my channel, because I got somebody that I think is the actual person that I made a video about, because they trolling my channel. They seem to be very upset about what I said about a certain individual. So, you know, I think it's them. But when it pertains to Valor Rally, if you go on that dude's platform, he's already won. What's $10,000 when you're going to end up making $4 or $5 million a year? Vlad has made millions. I'm not pocket watching, but he has a net worth of between, 10 and $15 million. He is a millionaire. And the funny thing is, he's made most of those millions, or should I say, he's made his entire fortune off the backs of black people, or should I say black people, basically speaking to him. Black people is his bread and butter. And I'm going to say this once again, he needs to stay out of black people's business. Whatever we do or whatever issues we have with other groups don't have shit to do with him. If we have an issue with Africans mistreating us or disrespecting us, that's between us. That's our discussion, not your discussion, not your opinion. And I'm going to say this again. I'm not disrespecting and I'm not dissing Tariq Nasheed. I'm a big supporter of Tariq Nasheed, but I would like to see what he's going to say in regards to, he responds to everybody else. I'm going to say this much. I believe in Tariq Nasheed. I believe that eventually he'll respond to Vlad. But my thing is, the best thing you to do to Vlad, don't give that man no money. Don't put no money in that Peckerwood's, pocket. That's the best thing you can do. Do not put money in his pockets. You damn right, Devon. We are taking our culture back. We're not finna let people tell us what isn't ours and what we have to share. Like I said before, I'm gonna tell you somebody else who has, before I end this video, like all of a sudden you've seen this valid effort to try to take away our legacy and try to take credit for our culture and what we done and how we contributed to American culture, or should I say culture in general. Just like you had Mexicans lying saying that they created the zoot suit. No, you didn't. So if anybody Mexican listening to this and you saying you created zoot suits, no, you didn't. You talking about the late 40s and in the 50s, black people were wearing zoot suits in the early. You know how zoot suits really got invented? I'm gonna tell you, this is fact. Zoot suits were like what you would call sort of like baggy suits. They were actually created not on purpose, but intentionally, because they wasn't sizing the guys right for the suits. They were intentionally like making the suits oversized, the pants oversized. So actually those dudes were putting them on saying, this is a little too big. But as usual, we winged it. We made it cool. So we were done with zoot suits. We were done with zoot suits by the 40s. But if you look, zoot suits started like in places like Detroit, Harlem, and those type of places. Every time y'all, and I'm going to say this again, every time y'all Latinos, or should I say Latinos, come up with a fake notion or a fake narrative, I'm going to debunk it. Y'all tried to lie and say that y'all made Tupac. That was crap. Not too sure. Tupac made his record debut, his video debut on All Around the World, same song. And if you look, that song was created by Shock G. Shock G was black. Now, people are talking about, one of his producers was Johnny J, a Mexican. Okay, fine. So black people have been using Mexican producers. And then the funny thing is, let me tell you something, how I'm finna shut that down though. I'm finna shut that down. So for you Mexicans, and I'm not saying all of y'all like that. Okay, so everybody knows that Johnny J produced Every Little City We Go. What's that song by Tupac? Every Little City We Go. He produced that song. But he sampled, or he played over Candy by Cameo. He basically played over the track Candy. And that was a Cameo song. Last time I checked, Cameo was a all-black R&B group. See how easy it is to shut that down? But if I say that, if I go on a platform and say that, then they're gonna try that, oh, you're being racist. Man, shut the fuck up. No, I'm just coming with facts. Yeah, all about you. You do not want to have that conversation with me. I remember Tupac before he blew up. I remember when they used to have this little small time TV network that used to come on cable, when they had actual cable. Soul Beat. Shout out to Chuck Johnson. They need to make a movie about him. They really do. I'm gonna have to seek it out, set up a meeting with Mr. Fab and talk to Ryan Coogler or something. See, can we get a Soul Beat movie made? Chuck Johnson had a very interesting story. Like, if you from Oakland, you know about Soul Beat. And unfortunately, Chuck Johnson ended up losing, his platform, his black independent owned TV network. Yeah. So they always try to do that. Then you had John Leguizamo with his silly ass trying to say that black people got the Crip walk from Latinos. That's a lie too. I can show you proof where the Crip walk. The Crip walk actually came from a dude who had I'll save that video. I'll let you see for yourself where the Crip walk came from. What inspired the Crip walk? What inspired the name Crip? Because actually, it's the funny thing is the terminology is so many different stories on how the name Crip came about. But one of the reasons that people think the name Crip came from, it was short for cripple. But I'm gonna connect the dots. I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna connect the dots. When I do this video, you're going to understand where I'm coming from. Many people believe that's where the name Crip came from. So, yeah. But anyway, you guys, appreciate you being here. We'll be back with more later on. Appreciate you guys. It's your boy Town. And I'm out, and fuck DJ Vlad.